Hey everybody, I was just going to make another video about what my childhood was like with mental illness. My mental illness got really severe when I was 12 years old. There was a traumatic incident with my family, and it basically ruined my life. Part of that was just the fear after everything happened, and it just kind of became an obsession, and I started having visual and audio hallucinations, seeing things and hearing things that weren't there, and really bad panic attacks. I remember that I would just hide somewhere and shake because I was just so scared. I started self-injuring when I was about 13 years old, and I think the first time that happened, I had my house key, and I was really upset, and I just took it and kept rubbing it across my hand, and it left probably like 6 or 7 cuts on my hand that were really deep, and after that was the first time I was hospitalized. My self-injury wasn't really like severe bad, like I wasn't trying to slit my wrist or anything like that, but I began cutting because I was just so angry with everything that happened and just didn't know what else to do. And another part of that too was the hallucinations, because I would hear voices telling me that if I did it, they would stop talking to me. And at that point, whenever they did that, I'd pretty much do anything. My hardest when I was younger, with all the mental illness that was starting, was school, because it was junior high and a lot of kids didn't understand what I was going through. Basically what happened was, when I went in there after the fight with my dad, which left bruises all over my face, all the kids pretty much just laughed at me and, just called me out and made me feel horrible. And it was just really, really shitty. I didn't know what to do, and I was so afraid of everything that I would not stand up for myself. A few incidences would be, the one time there was this girl who was pretty much mean to me all since I moved here, and I don't even remember how it started, but she was calling me names and shit. She wouldn't leave me alone, and I just called her a really, really rude name, and I ended up getting suspended for a day for standing up for myself. That was really hard because that happened a lot, and had kids pushing books out of my hands and shoving me around and threatening me, but I didn't really care or understand, because I was just so far into my illness that nothing really mattered to me anymore, because I was just so numbed by so many different medications: Zyprexa, Risperidol, lithium, pills like that, like the hardcore antipsychotics for children or whatever. Some of them weren't even for children, which is how the major weight gain started. It started when I was 13 from the Zyprexa and Risperidol, which were supposed to make the hallucinations stop. And they really didn't do that, because I had hallucinations all the time. Like, there's nothing anyone could do to stop it. And I was just on so much medicine, and all these medicines made me gain a lot of weight. So by the time I was 14, 15, 16, I just kept gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight, because I didn't have a choice but to take medicine. Because without medicine, I pretty much fall apart. I mean, that's with hallucinations, anger, and depression, and suicide attempts, and threats, and all kinds of crazy shit. And I don't like being like that at all. Hope you guys don't mind, but I'm gonna smoke a little bit of this while I'm talking, because it's hard for me to talk about certain shit without having flashbacks. So, would say the biggest problem in school would be that they didn't really understand and know what to do, because special education, which I was in from the time I was in 3rd grade till I graduated, for learning disabilities, my ADHD, and I didn't really mind it because they helped me out a lot, and I was able to catch up on the things that I couldn't catch up with on my own. But special ed also had its disadvantages because, first off, when you're in special ed, the kids make fun of you, and I was very much made fun of as soon as I was in special ed. They helped me a lot, so I didn't really care, and it was just hard. It was just, I had no true friends. I mean, in 6th grade I did. I had a bunch of friends, and that was before the accident. And after that, I don't know, I just didn't care anymore, because they all just kind of stopped hanging out with me and talking to me, and I just kind of gave up and just kind of dug my own hole into my own world and stayed there most of the time. It was really scary. By the way, if you haven't seen my other video, this is what I'm smoking. It is incense. Another thing that I needed to talk about too, that I was pointed out for, was because, as you can tell on my lips, they're busted up and red. I have a nervous condition. Some people have nervous conditions that they may bite on their nails, crack their knuckles, or shake their legs when they're sitting somewhere. My nervous habit, since I was probably 5 or 6, has been to pull the skin off my lips, and it's very, very serious. It causes bleeding and scar tissue. I also have problems on the inside, or I can't tell, from chewing, and I don't notice that I'm doing it. So that kind of had people making fun of me, because a lot of people don't just sit there and, like, pick on their lips and shit. But it's like something I can't control. I mean, someone told me to stop and I just can't. There's gonna be a part 2 to this video, because I'm gonna talk about all the things that happened my 7th and 8th grade year after the incident, and that'll show you a little bit more about PTSD in children and how it affects them and their education and just their lives in general. So, peace.